The old manor loomed over them, dark and silent. A chill wind howled through the dead trees, sending shivers down their spines. The atmosphere was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional creak of the ancient structure. It was as if the house itself was alive, watching, waiting. Inside the dusty house, a message was scrawled on the wall. "Get out!" it screamed. The letters were jagged, as if written in a frenzy. The message seemed to pulse with a life of its own, a dire warning to anyone who dared to enter. The air inside was stale, filled with the scent of decay and abandonment. 3 friends had vanished here. Now, a new group dared to enter. They were determined to uncover the truth, to find out what had happened to those who came before them. Their hearts pounded with a mix of fear and excitement as they crossed the threshold into the unknown.
A warm welcome, wouldn't you say? The voice dripped with sarcasm, masking the underlying tension that gripped them all. The hallway stretched out before them, dark and foreboding, each step echoing ominously.
Claire was a skeptic, always ready to debunk a good ghost story. Next to her, Adam shivered. He had never believed in the supernatural, but this place was different. The fear was palpable, seeping into his bones. Claire, on the other hand, was determined to remain rational, even in the face of the unknown.
This place gives me the creeps. The words were barely a whisper, but they echoed loudly in the silence. That the unease was spreading, infecting each member of the group. They could feel the weight of the house pressing down on them, a constant reminder of the danger they faced.
Their tech guy, Nicole, was already setting up cameras. She moved with a purpose, her hands steady despite the fear that gnawed at her. The equipment was their lifeline, their only means of capturing the truth. Every click and whir of the cameras was a small comfort in the oppressive darkness.
Let's see what we can find. The words were a challenge, a call to action. They had come this far, and there was no turning back. With flashlights in hand, they ventured deeper into the manor, ready to face whatever horrors awaited them. The night was just beginning, and the secrets of the house were about to be revealed.
Night fell. The team spread out, armed with EMF readers and night vision cameras.
Anything?
Claire whispered into her walkie-talkie. Static. Only the sound of their own breathing filled the air. Then a floorboard creaked upstairs. Footsteps.
Who's there?
Silence. Claire pushed open a door, revealing a dusty nursery. A rocking horse moved slowly, creaking back and forth. Claire felt a cold breath on her neck. She spun around. Nothing.
This is getting interesting.
The temperature plummeted, and the once warm and inviting house turned into a chilling crypt. The air grew dense with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional creak of the old wooden floors. A cold wind swept through the house, extinguishing their lanterns. The darkness enveloped them, making every shadow seem like a lurking figure.
Did you feel that? It was as if the very essence of the house was breathing down their necks, sending shivers down their spines.
Adam whispered, his voice trembling. "Something's here," he said, barely audible over the sound of their own heartbeats. They huddled together in the dark, listening intently. Every creak, every whisper seemed amplified in the oppressive silence. Whispers seemed to come from the walls themselves. Then a blood-curdling scream pierced the air, sending them into a frenzy.
Ben! The shout echoed through the dark corridors, filled with desperation and fear.
They rushed towards the sound, their hearts pounding like drums in their chests. The hallway seemed to stretch endlessly, every step echoing ominously. They found Ben cowering in a corner, his eyes wide with terror. He was muttering incoherently, pointing towards the shadows.
I saw her, a woman in white. She was ethereal, almost translucent, and her presence sent a chill through the room. She went through the wall. The impossibility of it left them all in stunned silence.
Claire's skepticism began to waver. What was happening here? The house seemed alive, its secrets whispering through the walls, and she could no longer deny the chilling reality they faced. Suddenly, the house came alive. Doors slammed shut, trapping them inside. The once silent mansion now echoed with the sounds of creaking floors and distant whispers. It was as if the house itself had a sinister consciousness, determined to keep them within its walls. The air grew thick with the smell of decay, a putrid scent that made it hard to breathe. The fog that filled the room seemed almost alive, swirling around them, making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. Every breath they took was heavy with the stench of rot and mildew. Then they saw them. The ghostly figures of the 3 friends who had disappeared. Their forms were faint, almost transparent, but their presence was undeniable. The investigators could feel a chill in the air as the apparitions drew closer, their eyes filled with sorrow and desperation. Their faces were frozen in expressions of terror, as if they had witnessed something too horrifying to comprehend. The fear etched into their features was a stark reminder of the danger that lurked within the house. It was clear that these spirits had suffered greatly. They reached out, their cold hands passing right through the investigators. The sensation was chilling, like a gust of icy wind cutting through their very souls. It was a haunting reminder that they were dealing with forces beyond their understanding.
We tried to warn you. The voice was faint, almost a whisper, but it carried a weight of sorrow and regret. The spirits had tried to communicate, to prevent others from meeting the same fate, but their warnings had gone unheeded.
The message on the wall: the house was a trap, and they were now prisoners of the vengeful spirits. The writing, scrawled in what looked like blood, was a chilling testament to the malevolent force that controlled the mansion. There was no escape. They were at the mercy of the house and its restless inhabitants.